Hi. So here we are with the first essay of the summer, the Argument of Fact essay. The Argument of Fact essay is to be a minimum of 1,000 words long, in which you present and support an argument of fact as defined in Everything's an Argument, Chapter 8. So clearly, this is where you have to begin. You have to begin with Chapter 8. Please read through that. Hopefully you've already read Chapter 1. Read Chapter 8 at this point, right? This is where it discusses the argument of fact. Because an argument of fact is a fundamental type of argument. It argues that a condition does exist now, has existed in the past, or will exist in the future. It is not, and let me repeat this, it is not where you say something like something should happen. Something should be changed. Some law should be changed. Some regulation should be changed. I get a lot of people starting off with that idea. No. An argument of fact may lead to such an argument, but it is not itself that type of argument. An argument of fact says a condition does exist, has existed, or will exist. There is a handout in the module for the argument of fact of some ideas, some examples, and those are not meant to be restrictive, that you have to choose one of them. It's just meant to point out the type of arguments we're talking about. Now, your essay must cite a minimum of 4 sources, 3 of which originate in print or have print analogs. Okay, originate in print or have print analogs. This tends to throw people off because they don't know what an analog is. It basically means it exists in print somewhere. You don't have to find it in print. So let's pretend you have a newspaper. It's called the New York Times. New York Times shows up in print at the doorstep or maybe at a Starbucks or something like that. Or you could get the New York Times online, print analog. Okay. If you use our library, we have databases in our library. We have a lot of databases. I think close to 100 databases. And all these databases are print or print analog, right? That is, they say they're magazines, books, newspapers, academic journal articles, government reports, things that have appeared in print somewhere, somehow, sometime. But, you're getting it online. Okay, that is different from materials that exist only on the web, which are not necessarily bad by themselves, but you need to have these things first. These sources must be presented in correct MLA fashion with parenthetical and text documentation and a works cited page. I'll talk about that a little more in a minute. Dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other general reference works do not count as sources, although you may use them, okay? But they're not going to count towards your minimum of 4. Now, at least 2 of your sources must be scholarly sources, which includes dissertations, peer-reviewed journals, scholarly journals, or university press books. Harvard University Press, Cambridge University Press, Oxford University Press, University of California Press, stuff like that. Your essay must contain at least one table or figure properly noted and incorporated into the text. And I have a link here. Now, if you have trouble finding this link, you could also just go to Purdue OWL, which I have access to on the web links part of our Canvas. All right, so you go to Canvas, go into modules, go down to web links, Purdue OWL, and you can find where it talks about figures and tables. But this will take you right to it. You must also provide a word count at the end of your essay. Okay, do not include the name block, the works cited page entries, or the table or figure in the word count because, well, obviously, those just add a lot of words, but that's not really the essay that you're writing. Now, here's the fun part. The topic will be a topic of your own choosing. But just as a reminder, there are a few topics that are off limits. Abortion, death penalty, child abuse, and religion. I do not accept papers on any of these 4 topics. Don't even try. I'll flunk them. Okay, so don't even bring them in. Certainly there are many other topics to choose from. Remember, good writing begins with good ideas. But good ideas are not easy to find. Okay, the best ideas are typically ones that I don't even anticipate. Just a student comes in with something, I'll go like, wow. Okay, so argument of fact. A condition does exist, has existed, or will exist. Read chapter 8. See the kind of things they're talking about. See the sample paper. See the handout I have for you for the argument of fact topics. Okay, I will tell you that a lot of good materials are out there in the sciences, right? There's good arguments in the environment. There's good arguments in stuff that basically uses facts to make the argument, as opposed to values that make the argument. Okay? When you start arguing about the facts of something, you're talking really about the interpretation of fact. What killed off the dinosaurs kind of thing, right? That's an argument of fact when you say, okay, well, dinosaurs died because of this reason, or dinosaurs died because of that reason. Now, the good ideas are ones that are interesting, topical, meaning they're current, they're relevant, and they matter. Okay? They matter to a large audience, not just a narrow group. Now, I will be creating work groups, the workshops, to which you will submit a rough draft by Wednesday, June the 26th, 11:59 p.m. for peer editing within the group. This draft should be as full and complete as possible, meeting all minimum standards required for the assignment. The more work you put into the draft, the better your final draft will be. Based on previous experience, I can tell you the difference in the grades of essays that have been peer edited and those that have not is striking. Be sure to consult the out-of-class essay guidelines. And I'm saying that as I use the word consult. Those are very important guidelines. Okay, they're not just something to be tossed out, looked at and ignored, or not even looked at, just ignored. Don't do that. That's a really bad thing. The out-of-class essay guidelines are available on Canvas. There's also a video discussion that goes with the guidelines. And the MLA format sheets, same story there. Hopefully you already have some MLA experience, but if you don't, the MLA format sheets are there so you avoid errors in presentation and style, which of course have a negative, like downward gravitational effect on grades. The peer editing is due on Friday, June 28th. And again, all this will be described in the future when we get closer to these dates. You will need to revise and polish your essay and turn in the final draft on Monday, July 1st by 11:59 p.m. No late essays will be accepted without a verifiable medical or legal excuse. Don't just say, hey, I got the sniffles on Monday, I couldn't turn my paper in. Yeah, don't think so. Now, the minimum requirements, you need to have at least 1,000 words. Now, I leave the upper end kind of to your own device, right? You make your own choices there, but, I'm not asking for a 3,000 word essay here. I'm asking for 1,000 plus, okay? At least 4 sources, all cited in the paper, right? So anything that shows up in the works cited page needs to be in the essay, and everything that's in the essay needs to be in the works cited page, right? Now, at least 3 of those 4 should be originating in print or print analog. Again, a book, a magazine, a newspaper, an academic journal, a government report. Okay, you don't have to get them online. You can get them online, I should say. You don't have to get them in print form. That's why I call it a print analog. At least 2 of those sources are scholarly works, right? Scholarly works means it's from a dissertation, a peer-reviewed journal, or university press book. The essay has to have a table or figure properly done. Again, check the MLA website or the Purdue OWL website. They're both available to you. There's also an example in the sample that you might want to check out. you can look at how it's done in the sample essay as well. MLA documentation for both in-text and works cited page. That should go without saying, but it has to be said. Whatever. Okay. As always, should you have questions, and I can't imagine that no one will have any questions. If you have any questions, please write to me. Okay. Write to me either through the message system, the inbox system that we have on Canvas, or send me an email. If it's something that we need to talk about, maybe we can set up a Zoom time to get together and talk about more seriously. Okay? Good luck.